what it's about. It's about recognizing if people feel the need to peacefully protest in a way that is not harming anyone else, that they have the right to do that. And that's what America is about.
Well, I tell you this, and it's on a lighter note. It is funny to see the college football coaches wear their Black Lives Matter shirt, the most Southern. They were sort of like, wait a second, my players are going to go where? They're going to go to a historically Black college.
Yes.
Matter. Yeah, deal, whatever you got to do. That changed, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And so, and hopefully people can see through that.
To the Top is brought to you by our friends, the Realty Medics. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing in properties, allow the Realty Medics to be your stockbroker for real estate. Check them out at therealtymedics.com.
Hello and welcome to another edition of To the Top. I'm your host, Carlos Alberto Navarro. To the Top is a show that makes you think, makes you laugh, whatever it may be. And today, I got one of my good buddies on here, one of my bros, a man I wanted to talk to for a while because I just love talking to him. And you're smart and you have some good ideas and you have, you're successful. You're so many of these things. But more importantly, you're my friend, Coach Rob Keefe in the house. What's up, man? How you doing?
Dude, happy to be on, man. Thanks, Carlos. Hey, congratulations on the baby. Haven't officially said that outside of social media and text message, but yeah, man, it's awesome.
I appreciate that, bro. I really do, and it's awesome being a dad again, and like having just a little more experience with it, getting to enjoy it a little bit more because. It's just different. I'm funny you bring that up because I was just watching her and watching my daughter and watching my wife. And we're singing Hamilton and we're all having fun and I was just soaking it in, man. So
good for you.
Thanks.
Good for you.
Thanks. Speaking of which, have you watched Hamilton?
Awesome. Amazing. I feel terrible that I didn't get to see it in person. Like, I really wish I got to see it in person. But the minute that it came out that weekend, I think July 4th weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it July 4th night. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's, I got to see it live. I got to go see it at Dr. Phillips. And I've been a massive fan for years. Like, my dream is to play that role one day, like in a stage. And so I've always loved it, and I've just been a fanboy about it. And, of course, I talked about it on the radio show, and it was like, oh, can't be that good. Can't be that good. And then people watch like, damn, it is that good. So.
And then for me, what I do, I go on this, like, Wikipedia journey because I try to figure, okay, how did he start? Okay, then how did he formulate the plan? And then I just learned so much about him and all the hard work and effort. It's just so much respect for him. So it was awesome seeing that come full circle for him.
Well, is your mom a history teacher or?
Yeah, so my mom was an educator for a really long time. Special education was her main thing. Yep. So, but just literally seeing him and knowing his background and knowing what he's doing in education, and it's awesome. Like, it really is pretty cool to see that full circle, and then seeing it from a different perspective. Like, I loved it. I loved every minute about it. All the songs, the choreography, and everything. It was really neat.
I seriously think it's a masterpiece. It's like one of those, and it was weird because it's funny how, like, your friends, especially like if you told me something and be like, dude, you got to check this out. I'd be like, okay, I got to check it. In fact, you've done that before with songs and things you'll send me, and I'll be like, oh, damn, this is dope. But two of my very good buddies, Mike Young, who's a director, the creative director for Madden football, coincidentally.
Sure.
Very crazy talented guy. And then my buddy Cooper, who is just one of my best friends, the actor, and they both were like, this is before Hamilton like blew up. He's like,
sure.
You gotta check out this Hamilton. And I was like, okay. And then finally I listened to it and I just was like, I freaking love it. But I'm glad you got to check it out. I knew you probably had because of
So my mom and my dad, they went to so being from the DC area, they went to the Kennedy Center to see it. So they saw it a while back, and then I'm looking at it like, well, how can I ever see this? Like, unless I fly somewhere to see it on a Broadway, and then I wasn't here when it was at Dr. Phillips, I was coaching, and it was like, how can I do this? So for it to come out the way it did, I loved it. I was like, okay, now I can finally sit down and watch this thing.
Dude, it's funny because I've never, working on a radio station, you get hooked up, you get tickets and stuff like that. So this was about 2 Christmases ago when they came into town because it was December when they came in.
Sure.
Yeah. No. Was it December? Yeah, because it was a birthday gift to myself.
Yeah.
My daughter knew a couple of songs. Megan knew nothing about it. So I was like, I ain't spending $350 on the ticket.
Right.
For you to be like, what are they saying? And I bought it myself, went by myself, not knowing what to expect. And like a baby in the audience. First off, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, nobody is reacting that way. And I am crying, and the kid, and the guy Mike I told you about before.
Sure.
He was like, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen live. And when he said that, I was like, oh, I have to. So I think I literally caught. Well, it was 2 years ago, and the funny thing about that, dude, is I have glasses now. I wear glasses. I'm nearsighted, so I have issues seeing a little further away. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that, so I'm watching Hamilton. And they're a little blurry, but like I didn't know I needed glasses.
Right.
And now I'm like, damn, if I could go back, I'd put on glasses.
But you know what? That's now that I remember, I'm so late on the game. Like I'm the kind of guy that like, oh, it's things are coming to town. I'm like, okay, cool. I look at it in about a week or something. I look for tickets, sold out in like an hour. That's exactly what it was. I was here, and I remember that. I was like, how is this possible? And I just missed the train on it. So that was kind of I always have to buy tickets like right when they come out. I'm so amazed at how quickly things sell out. I was like done in like an hour at most.
Dude, I forgot that I actually went to buy the tickets. They were sold out. And then I was doing the radio show, and they were like, they're releasing they're releasing some tickets like at this time, whatever. So I was like, all right. And I jumped on there, and it was like, you got tickets? I was like, ah!
Yep.
Like I'm like a kid on the block in sync band, like, we're going to the end. But
what I love about it is like the cultural phenomenon. That's kind of what I love. Like I remember when I was younger, and I remember my parents going to Cats. I remember, that's how I can remember that. Like being an 80s baby, my parents were going to Cats, and I was like, what is this thing that everybody keeps talking about? But I love that stuff. I love kind of, making sure you don't miss it. So I'm glad at least I got to see it. And I'm like, hey, I did it. No one can tell me that I didn't see it. In 40 years, I can say, I saw that.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. There is something. Maybe that's why for those who don't know, hopefully if you haven't checked out our last podcast, or if you don't know who Rob is, Coach Rob Keefe is a championship winning coach and on every level. And maybe that's why you got into what you did, because like sports is one of those things that you have to be there. You can watch it but you have to watch it live.
You got to be there. And it's funny because, my parents are we have this conversation all the time. I always bring up my parents. They're such a big influence on me, but they're very like, they're in education. My dad was in the government. It's very like these stable, 9 to 5s. Like obviously they're putting in tons of work, bring home work, work home with them. But like for me, when you're a coach, it really is entertainment. A lot of coaches don't say that, but I'm in the entertainment industry, and it's like, hey, I'm putting on a show. I get paid for a living to coach a game, but it's not this 9 to 5. It's a very kind of like, again, it's I can identify with actors like yourself, and I can identify with radio personalities and people that are on Broadway, and it's just like the same kind of concept. Like sometimes you're out of work, sometimes you're on the biggest train, going. It's like, it's very interesting, but I do relate to it.
Is that why, you're known for, I know you and I are similar in a lot of ways, and your emotions, sometimes they get the best of us. Our energy gets the best of us, but it's also helped us get to where we're at. Did you ever think about that when you do some post-game interviews? Like, I'm gonna pump it up a little bit here for the entertainment aspect.
I can't see. I've never done it intentionally. Like, but I have had a lot of people, and you've critiqued me a couple times in a good way. Like, I've had people that have like texted me and said, "Hey, man, you got to take it down a notch. Like, this is so over the top." But then I'm like, that's just me. There's nothing false about it, But then you think about it, and as I get older, you start to realize, okay, hey, let me give precise thoughts here. Let me make sure that everybody can clearly and understand me, probably like an actor as far as their delivery. You do think about things like that.
Yes. I think I loved whenever you would do your speeches, because I knew you and most of the coaches, we went down the field, and we played good defense. We got the stops when we needed, and it's like there's so much cliches, coach talk.
Sure.
Right? And as long as, and I knew that you were always, genuine about it. And I think as long as you're doing that, you're fine. But I did notice as you progressed and as we all do, we all get older, and we're like, you know what, I'm gonna bring that energy. And I could tell your post-game interviews were a little bit more composed.
We'll get back to the podcast in just 1 second, but are you freaking out right now because you either have to buy a piece of property, you have to sell your home? Well, the Realty Medics are right there for you. like a good coach, like a good friend. Tommy and his team are so amazing at the Realty Medics. I have bought homes with Tommy. He's a good friend of mine, and he's somebody that you can trust. There's a lot of shiesty people out there that just want to make a quick buck on your home. They don't care about the deal. That's not Tommy and his team at the Realty Medics. Check them out at therealtymedics.com. And if you support To the Top, support the main sponsor who's been with us the entire time. And Tommy is there for you. I've sent him so many people, and they write me back and go, oh my gosh, Tommy and his team are amazing through and through and through. If you want to give him a call, it's 321-947-7653. And they do so much with real estate. They're literally like your stockbroker for real estate. So contact him as well, Tommy at therealtymedics.com, and say you heard it on To the Top, and they will take care of you because they are first class. Let's get back to the podcast.
Sure. You know, people ask me too after you win a championship, they're like, that's the most subdued I've ever seen you. And for me, it's like, mission accomplished. Like, it's over. Like the movie is done. Like there's nothing to talk about anymore. It's like, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. But in the moment and in the build up, yeah, I mean, you're trying to motivate as many people, if not a city, to get behind you. And then that's where it's just like, it all comes out. But yeah, it's a really cool experience to kind of see it happen.
So you're the coach of the Albany Liberty, and obviously we're in the COVID times. Where are we at with the AFL?
I mean, and this is an awesome conversation because I think we can tie so many things into this. There's so many things that are going on right now in the country that we can talk about that I'm excited to talk about. But as far as COVID-19 goes, all indoor professional football has been canceled for the year. So I've been hunkered down, between Orlando, Florida, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've been hanging out, just relaxing. Really, there was no way that, again, I would say minor league sport is a good way to say it. Like I always basically tell people that I coach AAA football. That's a good way to look at it. Pretty much all of my players have played in the NFL or will play in the NFL. We're trying to help them get there. But when you rely on a business that is not televised, unlike the NBA, unlike the NFL, Major League Baseball, you rely on ticket sales. Well, if people aren't allowed to be in a stadium, be in an arena, you can't have a season. And I mean, again, I always say it's an entertainment industry, much like concerts, much like probably Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, places that again, we're all in this same boat. So it's, even though I'm a football coach, I've been lumped in the category of this entertainment industry
Sure.
where people have kind of shut down production, if you will. So I'm waiting like everyone else. A few teams are talking because other leagues are trying to pop up. Other teams are popping up. Certain states, maybe New York, can't open as quickly as other states. Maybe Florida can't open as quickly as other states. So it's really going to be interesting. I hope that football in the arena football world can be played next year, but I mean, these are topics I probably talk about every day. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I say the word vaccination. We talk about how we would travel. Can fans be allowed? What would sponsors think? Can you sell tickets? I mean, with people that unfortunately are out of work right now, are they going to spend their hard-earned dollars that they're saving right now on entertainment that they don't know if they can get their refund back? It's really tough to deal with. But for me, I mean, this is really what I train for. I mean, being a football coach, I'm, all care and respect to everyone who's lost their life during this time. But for me, I am really in isolation mode. I tell you what, I got a phone call earlier about an hour ago from a dry cleaners in Orlando. Apparently I haven't picked my dry cleaning up in like 8 months. That's how, I mean, look at the beard. I mean, I'm in full ice. Look at the hair. Look at this thing, man. I'm in full isolation mode. So I got to go pick up that dry cleaning sometime before they give it away. But I'm just, I'm working on myself. I'm being, working on the best person I can be, but also just waiting. I mean, it's all I can do to be the best, I think, citizen that I could be and make sure that, I'm staying healthy and everybody around me staying healthy.
Yeah, I can tell you got the beard going. I mean, I'd probably grow out my hair if I could, but I was like, I went the other way.
It's very liberating. To be honest, I've never done this before. I mean, I feel like I can, if the Sons of Anarchy has like a reboot, or if there's like a country western I could like try out for, I feel like I fit right in.
You do look like a rugged country singer. That's what.
Oh man,
that's pretty cool.
I'm ready to go. So it's been 5 months for the hair and the beard. So I'm just going to see how long I can take it. Probably until, football starts up again. I got to give professional interviews, but I don't know. I'm liking it. I really am.
Keep it. What the hell? If you like it, keep it. I mean, yeah, I get it. Coaches are supposed to, but there's a lot of coaches right now that
I know.
They're looking real raggedy.
To be in an industry where I can kind of let this go. Like I can do it. So it's pretty cool.
So are you working? I know you were working with, what was it? Keep America Clean.
Clean the world. Yeah, absolutely. And so really what I do every single day, lately I've been getting a lot of phone calls from football because people are saying, okay, hey, is football going to start back up? If we do start back up for the 2021 season, this is when you start to prepare. So I'm listening to a lot of teams. Well, in the meantime, I've been working for Clean the World. Pretty much what I do about 30 hours a week from home. I work from home. I actually helped create a virtual learning program for colleges and high schools. And it was kind of before all this kind of kicked in to teach students how to start a nonprofit. And it has 10 modules. We did an online learning program. It's actually really, really cool. And then you can donate back to a charity of your choice. And so I'm staying active, man. And so we're doing such a great job. But really what I do, and that's why I know what's going on in the college and the education world, I talk to professors and teachers in almost every college in the country all week long, and just hearing what they're going through, not knowing how to start, not knowing if kids are going to come back, if kids are going to take a gap year. It's really interesting conversations that I'm having with these teachers. But yeah, that's what I do to kind of promote our products with Clean the World. So all good stuff though.
Good, man. I was thinking about you. I know you're the kind of guy that can pretty much do a lot of different things, but this is your baby, football, like that's what you do. It's in your blood, so.
Well, and look, I'm telling you, and as far as, for me personally, football coaches, again, in the entertainment world, if college football can't be played, if the NFL can't be played, hey, if you make enough money where you can kind of sit back in your summer vacation home and relax, hey, you can do that. But there's a lot of coaches that are working. They're working coaches. And when you don't have that income coming in, there's a lot of coaches that are doing other things right now. So again, if you're not the top one movie star and you're just in commercials or you're doing a sitcom every now, that's exactly what coaches go through. So it's really interesting times. But yeah, you do what you got to do and you make the best out of it.
Thank you so much for checking out the Monsters on YouTube. Now, if you want to watch the rest of this video, just click on the link in the description and head on over to the Top YouTube page. Make sure to subscribe. And if you want to hear the podcast, you can find that on the iHeartRadio app, iTunes, anywhere you hear podcasts, you can find the To the Top Never Stop podcast. The links are also below in the description of this video. Today will be a great day. To the top, never stop.